not to do. The most kids, when you give a kid in pre-1A a cigarette, he'd look at it, he would think you're crazy. He would rip it up and throw it away. He would think like, what are you doing to me? He'd feel like he's being attacked. He grows up and he'll try it once, try it twice. Things that were naturally considered no good, as people grow up, they start throwing it out. As the influences come in, they start to lose the most basic and elementary values. But if someone has values that are rooted, that Hashem said, this is what I have to do. Hashem said, I cannot do this. Hashem said, I should do this. No matter what the surroundings are, like Yaakov Avinu by Lavan, that's it. I'm not changing. Yaakov Avinu said 14 years in Shem Ve'even. Whatever he saw by Lavan's house was the worst of the worst surroundings. He lived in it. And he didn't change an iota. And he told his son that straight up. I lived with Lavan, but I kept all 613 mitzvot. There's no excuses. These days, we're living in an ever-changing world. And unfortunately, morally, it's for the worse. And without the negative connotation of this whole thing, I mean, if, God forbid, a little kid would walk into school 16 years ago with material that was inappropriate, it would be reprimanded severely. But now, they all walk around with video games that could get 10,000 times worse than those other things. And it's unstoppable almost. There's only one thing that could stop it. If your actions are rooted in what Hashem says is good and what Hashem says is not good. That's it. If all the actions are rooted like that, so this doesn't make a difference if the whole world's doing different. What does the whole world have to do with me? Hashem didn't change his mind, so I can't change my mind. I don't have an opinion on it. I have Hashem's opinion. That takes a lot of firmness and a lot of stubbornness. But the first trait Rabbi Miller points out that the Jewish nation was said to have in the Torah is that the Am Kishe Oref, a stubborn nation. While that looks very negative, we're a stubborn nation, Rabbi Miller says he heard in the name of the Alter of Slobodka, that is the greatest thing the Jewish nation has is stubbornness. Why? He says because it's so easy to write something in butter, but the second the sun comes out, it's all over. He says, but to write in stone is nearly impossible, but once you do it, it lasts forever. The Jewish nation said, Na'aseh v'nishma, and we got the Torah etched inside our bones. And once we said yes, the whole world could do differently, we don't give a hoot. But we got to live with that. And how do we live with that? You see so many Jewish people that said Na'aseh v'nishma back then, but today, not holding where they were then, for a simple reason. The first attack on Am Yisrael that ever took place was actually a malach. Esav's malach attacked Yaakov Avinu. Well, it says Lavan tried to uproot Am Yisrael, but the first physical attack. He came to malach, and it says they struggled all night long. Says the pasuk, the pasuk describes the struggle that the malach had with Yaakov before he had any children, or he had a few children, little toddlers. And it says, Vaye'avek ishimo, a malach struggled in, and Rashi says, kick smoke into his face. So the Mefashim ask, Rabbi Yerucham Levovitz says, kick smoke into his face? What is Rashi turning into a Marvel comic? Trying to make a gory scene, smoke flying, lightning flashing, and give him a right jab, a left jab, an uppercut. What's the smoke in the face? What do we care about it? Bottom line is they were fighting. We care if smoke flew up. Says Rabbi Yerucham Levovitz, the reason is because the only way of fighting Yaakov Avinu, who was a man of focus, a man of emet, a man of Torah, a man of value in Torah, was to attack his focus. And if you blow smoke in someone's face, it doesn't mean physical smoke in his face. It meant to block his sight, to make him lose sight and focus of where he is, who he is, and where he's going. We have here today a kala and a chatan. Well, the kala, the reason why I said first is because we know her very well. Pearl, for many years, has, before she practically was by our house all the time, she's my wife's baby cousin at the time when we first got married. And her mother used to, close your ears for a second, talk a lot about how beautiful her daughter is and how much she loves her. She used to show us pictures when she was little. Go, did you see her? Was anybody going to grab her? Dark hair. Used to describe the whole thing. And then when we got more mature and grew up, we saw this girl that has a lot more than just dark hair and this, that. She's a girl that has her value system firmly and deeply rooted into what the Torah wants. And by the way, That's not an easy one in this generation.